Afternoon, guys. Back in Spain. These make my eyes look huge, don't they? Yeah, I got some new glasses, and I got these. Did I get them from Specsavers? No, I got them from Tesco's. Was that Vision Express? Got the Ray-Ban ones because if you're like me, I damage the arms quite regular, so I got these, which I think they're Wayfarer ones, because I have these in. Well, I've got the sunglass versions of these in probably. Well, Ray-Bans. I pretty much got all of the Ray-Bans, literally, all the gentleman ones. Everything from the Aviators to the Wayfarers in the tortoise shell, in the black finish, and I've got a lot of sunglasses. Same as my favourites are Prada at the minute. Did have the carbon frame ones, but I found their lenses deteriorated, and I had the three of those as well, the silver ones, the gun finish, and the black ones, and they all deteriorated. But I found these guys are fairly solid. I dread to think how much I spent on sunglasses over the years, but I do wear them a lot because my eyes got damaged some time ago in the deserts of Oman. My retinas got burned. But anyway, that's not what you call it anyway. So these are pretty good. I'm enjoying these so far, although they do make me. I think I look a bit like I don't know, like a 1940s TV character or something. But yeah, it's great being back in La Mata. I got in late last night. I'm trying to create a more positive spin on things because the UK is like that at the minute, and it's just getting worse. So I look at things from yesterday, even getting back, the train, got to Northampton train station. There are animals on the line. That's what they said, which I think actually means cows, because I don't think we've got many sheep in the area. So the train was delayed for over an hour. But it is interesting when people actually say, because they're ringing up people that say that they're going to be late, and they're saying, oh, there's animals on the train. No, it's animals on the line. Somebody's opened the gate. But it was weird because north of Northampton, obviously towards Birmingham, animals on the line. South, animals on the line. I start thinking, is it a stop oil protest disrupting our electric trains? I don't know. Guys, if you are stop oil and doing that type of stuff, that is not going to make any difference beyond ruining my trip. But down near Gloucester, I think it is, go and have a look at the electric trains that are stuck in fields down there because the tracks haven't been upgraded to accommodate them. There's a proper scandal there. Do a bit of investigative journalism. You can pinpoint MPs and all sorts down there. Stopping my train, I didn't even hear if it was a protest or not. I assume so, simply because it was north and south, because it's a bit odd. It's in two different directions. So that knocked us back an hour. Then we're in the airport. I've got to admit, there's a bit of a warning. £23. The warning was the cost of the ribs. The Giraffe restaurant in the departure lounge at Birmingham Airport, the ribs are really nice. The pork ribs, 23 quid, and then the cocktails are nearly 10 quid each. But I've got to admit, after being the delays and being up early, and because we have to walk to the train station, we walk to a train station. I always walk to the train station because it means I've done 2 miles, so I've got nearly all my steps in before I've even got on the train. So I walked about 2 miles to the train, then got the disruption there, slight disruption at the airport. New scanners at the airport, really good, really happy with those, went straight through again. Although I do think they're a bit oversensitive at the minute, because they do seem to let about 80% of them need a bag check. Whatever, very little gets through. But in my case, we had DVDs, which obviously they reflect, so I can understand that may upset the scanner. And Obi had something in one of his books that upset the scanner. But beyond that, it was great. Went straight through. Giraffe, amazing ribs, set us up for the evening. Looking out at the Ryanair flight, I could see a guy with a torch going around the nose of the plane. And I thought, oh, I bet it's been hit by a bird. And funny enough, he's gone around. We get on the plane. Announcement, the plane's hit a bird on the way in. So then we get stuck on the runway for over an hour. It's quite funny. I have these stories that are becoming more frequent, unfortunately, but my son Ubi's picked up on them as well. So he was on about, he keeps mentioning one that happened this year, which was this woman with nice friendly Irish woman, ginger hair, ginger kids. But the thing is, they were sat next to me on the flight, and there's a little kid, and he keeps doing that, and his feet are just about touching the seat in front. The guy in front's like a 2-year-old child, like making a massive issue about this kid. He's kicking my seat again. Creating all this issue. They end up in an argument over the disruption. The woman keeps apologizes to me, and like, I don't care, you know. I've learned headphones on, hat down, sleep. That's me. I'm out of it. I'm not interested. Do the flights too regular. I just nap on them. I go into the what do you call it? It's hibernation mode, and just like wake up just before the plane lands. So they've been arguing the whole flight. We get off the flight, and then I can hear the husband, the wife of the husband, because they did confront the woman on the flight as well. They were going, "You should learn to look after your children. You're not a good mother." All this stuff on the flight, and I'm just like, look at you. You know, your guy was probably about 70, acting like a small child. You can see the woman's not got a husband or whatever with her. She's got 2 really young kids, and you got this new kid that's 70 years old whinging like mad. I was just like, you know me, I'm just like chilling out, not going to get into it. But they were behind me going to the passport control, and there was a conversation which was, that guy just did nothing. He did. I was like, and my son keeps bringing this up. The guy just sat there. He did nothing. They're not my kids. It's not my wife. It's not my problem. They're not bothering me. They're bothering you. So he brings it up on a regular basis. So this time, a little bit further down, a kid just screamed for the whole length of the flight, pretty much. Was I too bothered? I've got to admit, unfortunately, my headphones were tied to my laptop, so I couldn't actually switch off for music. So I did the next best thing, which is just zone out and go to sleep. So not too bad, but the first hour was absolutely dreadful. But my kids were that age at some point, but that's what Cowpole's for. Knock them out, give them some Cowpole. But yeah, I could sort of say they didn't do much to shut the kid up, but if the kid's teething or whatever, good luck on trying to quieten them down. But yeah, that was it. And then Ubi was saying about up where he was, because lucky enough I got on row 18, which is the wings, so I got the extra leg room without paying any extra. I think the flight for the 2 flights coming out was about €40, which I can't grumble. That's why I just wear headphones and stuff. You know, I'm on the cheap seats. I can't grumble on the cheap seats. I'm not arrogant enough to care. I'd rather have the money in my pocket and spend the extra on the ribs But yeah, so I hope he had a kid that kept headbutting the chair. Not his chair, but the guy right next to him, and they were having a bit of a barney. He got 35A, which is up by the toilet at the back. So we're making a bit of a joke, because sometimes it can get a bit stinky up at the back of the plane. But yeah, he was all right. Because he's a nearly adult, so he's at that age where the kids want to be treated like an adult, but legally, and from a parent point of view, you're not comfortable being at that level. You're only just starting to let him go out on his own type thing. So being on the flight where I'm halfway down and he can, he could shout me if there was ever a ruckus of some sort. But the point being is he's got a little bit of independence, but he's just thinking of the stuff I talk about when I'm on the flights. So he was bringing up about the kid like just headbutting his feet, and the guy next to him getting wound up about it. And he says, the two sat next to us were complaining about it. It's like, yeah. As you can see, I see the funny side. There's no point worrying about it, no point complaining about it. Planes being late, cows on the line. What am I going to do about it? It just seems a state of play at the minute. What was it a few months back? A landslide. So that, we're having to use the bus service instead of the train service. Got the strikes and all the other problems within the UK. It's a circus. So you've got to keep it positive. And that's like, I'll just put the video up just before this one about being back. Because when I get here, as soon as I land, you get that bit of heat. And even if I don't get the heat, but I always do even in the winter, because the UK is always colder, it's great to be home. You just feel it. And as soon as I get on that road from Alicante Airport, start coming down towards Santa Pola, Crosswell, the Salt, what do they call it? They're not Salt Lakes though, are they? Because are they called Salt Lakes still? Are they man-made? There must be another special name for that. But as soon as I see that, the flamingos and stuff, I'm home. My focus is getting home, getting to April, getting to the kids. I'm home. I'm back in my space. UK for me is constant turmoil. There's always a problem. There's always complaints. The political system's going down the toilet alongside the work environment isn't great. And it's not just me, because yet again, we have seen other people leave the business in a short period of time. So I'm currently one of the longest surviving employees. And it's because I can disconnect from it. But I know some of the guys who watch the channel are having similar issues in their workspace. And I would actually say, start locking down to what your contract says. Do a 40-hour week and nothing else. Start finding stuff to do. One of the things with having Ubi over with us in the UK this trip is he got me to go out and do stuff. Now, I've got to admit, it absolutely cost me a fortune. And I'm not complaining. It's just the fact is, we're down to 20 quid when we come back, which for me is a rarity. I've normally got at least a couple of thousand in the bank as emergency funds, because I keep money in Spain. So in the UK I keep like a small fund, because I get paid there, then I transfer. So I only just keep like a couple of thousand in the UK. £20 left, because we'd been to Armageddon, which is a place that's got armoured personnel carriage, you can drive and stuff. Been to the Royal, was it the Imperial War Museum? Is it Duxford? I think it might be Duxford. Went to Biggin Hill, the home of the Spitfires, etc. Went to London, did the British Museum. Went to a lot of army surplus stuff, because Ubi's like well into his World War II stuff. And we spent some money in those places, and for him, he was just in his element with all the stuff that was around. He was really, really happy. So for me, it was a good trip. We also went and seen one of my wife's friends who works at I think it's called the Spitfire Experience down there at Biggin Hill. And he took us all behind the scenes because he's one of the engineers down there. So we actually got a tour with the guys down there, and we said, look, you want to come out to Spain, come out and see us. Really appreciated that. So really good trip, but a bit of an unprepared expense considering it was a lastminute.com, because I knew I had to go back and do some work. So Ulby spent a lot of time at the house when I went out to work during the day, and then we sort of did stuff in the evenings and the weekends. But it meant I hadn't prepared a budget for it. So my UK budget we soon swallowed up, because driving into London daily is quite expensive on the old fuel. I mean, I get it reimbursed, but the problem is it eats money work-wise. So finance-wise, I had my living expenses money plus my fuel money, and we got through that quite quick. So yeah, we had a good time. And obviously got to experience the tube, went to a lot of the places around London. Lucky enough, every time we went anywhere, it was pre or post protests. Because bear in mind, I think we were at Trafalgar Square and the Tommy Robinson marches were the day after, I think. But then we've been to Whitehall, we've been to all around, you know, Parliament and all those areas that had their pro-Palestine marches, their anti-Palestine marches, you name it, they were there. I mean, even when we were there was I think it was a mini one in the middle of the road, which was the Brexit guys. I think they're pro-Europe, but it was good to actually get Ulby to experience some of London. Yeah, so enjoyed that. It's good. But that's the good stuff, and it all cost me money. Like I said, it emptied my budget quite well. But it's also sort of saying, Matt, you know, when you're in the UK, go and do some of the other stuff, the positive stuff, because it is easy to get wound down. I mean, I've got to admit, the cost of some of these entrance fees is horrendous. Yeah, I do think some of the costs are overpriced. But anyway, I will do more stuff on. I don't know if I put it on the other channel or just keep it for home. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's interested in seeing me wandering around museums and stuff. Let me know in the comments. But it's good for got to see the UK. Coming home has been good. The car, I've got a new car coming September. So I bit the bullet on that one because I got fed up of fixing the Astra. So go see my neighbour wants it, otherwise I'm going to get it crushed. I'm not asking for any money for it, so any repairs for them it'll be worthwhile, because for me it's not worth fixing. I'm fed up with fixing the bloody thing. But if they get it fixed, they could have it fixed for the long term. They're good neighbours, so I'll quite happily give them a car. But I've ordered a little Aygo, one of those Toyota Aygos X, which I think it's cost me about 17 grand. But at the same time, it does mean we're now at a point where we can do some more videos around Spain. So see if we can generate some money off the channel to pay for the car so we can go places. But I want to go up to Valencia. I want to go and map out some of the stuff around this area. I might start a Google map where I put all the locations on there for where we've been, and sort of tie them with videos so you actually know where the things are. So you can, if you wanted to visit them, you can see them on the map, and then you can reference back to the video so you can preview any of this stuff before having to go there. Something I would have liked to do a long time ago, but you know how reliable the vehicles have been I've had. Yeah, I need a mechanic as my spare passenger in many cases. But beyond that, it's all good. Got nothing really to complain about except the state of the UK and the cost of living. It's a joke. It's just not funny. I'm quite happy that Jeremy Clarkson's place is open now. He's opened the bar, a pub restaurant, and Starmer's one of his first banned customers. I've got to admit, I wish more places would ban Starmer from them. I would actually be doing that, to be fair. I'd quite happily support a campaign to ban that guy from places after what he's been up to. But that's my personal view. Some of you guys may be a pro Starmer, but I haven't met anybody yet that said a good word about him. But we'll see. But beyond that, good to be back. Please give us some comments, and if you want to meet up, give us a shout. I know I was supposed to meet up with Richard previously, so maybe I have to meet up with Richard this time. But I'm back for a little bit, and I'm going to hop back to the UK for some meetings, but I'm expecting to be flying in now a lot more regular now. Now things are starting to settle down. Have a great weekend.